I'm here with Kevin Hoops of Badlands STOL. Kevin, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you.
I got to know Clint last year.
Yeah.
And so tell me about how you're now essentially kitting the Badlands. Tell me how that relationship evolved, and is now he's going to be taking over essentially the R&D position for the Badlands.
Yeah, Clint. Everybody seems to know Clint. He's been around doing this for a long time. I think probably 9 or 10 years with developing the original version with the Cessna wings, and then brought it up to where he started developing his own wing. Over time, he just researches, changes stuff, and tests it until he come up with a product that he was really happy with the performance on. And then Clint and I met a couple years ago, got to talking. I'd been in manufacturing my entire life, and I was ready to do something different, so I retired from what I was doing. I worked for a defense company for years, and I basically stole all my good engineers and welders and everything from that defense company and brought them to start this company. So we ended up naming it Badlands STOL, mainly because that's where Clint's from. It's from out in South Dakota. We took everything that we could as far as the fuselage and stuff. We started doing it in southern Missouri. That's where, and so we took Clint's product, engineered it out, and got it production ready. Clint and Dave Trend, they still do the wings out in South Dakota. So they do the wings, get them to us, and then we piece it together with the kit and send it out to the buyers, which we're brand new at. I mean, this is production number 2. We've built 6 of them now. This just happened to be the one that was at a stage we could bring to the show. This is a customer's airplane, and yeah, we're getting lots of kudos. We're really happy with the how we're being received at the show, and so we're just trying to get moving.
Some of the interesting things I've noticed is a total carbon fiber laminate floor.
Yep.
Seats that, and the color scheme is very hot rod Harley-esque, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But one of the innovations I seem to notice is you have a HOTAS for the throttle, but it's also flap. Would you like to explain that?
Yeah. This is just an option. 2 doors is an option. You can also have it where you got a single door on that side, and it's kind of like a conventional Cup with the throttles like they normally are. Or if you want the 2 doors, you can have the throttles down here, or this option, which is, if you watch the guys in STOL competition, their hands are always all over the place, and that's where this idea was born from. Their hands are going from their throttle to their flap and all that kind of stuff. So this is basically like a cyclic on a UH-1H helicopter. It has a friction lock, where you can lock your throttle in for cruise and that kind of stuff. And then we use a power distribution module to control all the buttons on this head. So all they need to provide is a ground signal to the PDM, and then you can use little buttons to do big things like start your engine, propeller pitches, about anything you could think of. You can actually use them for. And then this is actually comes back and hooks to your flap. You can engage your flaps. You can dump them incrementally, or you can flap it side and dump them all at once. Depends on what they want to do.
And you kept Clint's landing gear with the oleo strut and where your center pivot point rather than the traditional club.
Yeah, they did a lot of testing on that gear, and it just takes a beating, works really good. I like the looks of it. That's all. Basically everything here is Clint's design. We just took everything and ran it through finite element analysis and did all the engineering. I hired an engineer for that because I'm not one, but so basically, everything was just engineered out. Now all the tubes are all machine cut. All the brackets are either laser or water jet, whatever the need of is. Got lots of titanium on it, lots of carbon fiber. Anywhere we can save weight. Did little things like, of course, the back seat's removable. It folds up on itself and then folds up again, so a guy could sleep in it or take his back 6 out, fly with it in that position, kind of quadrant off their cargo area. Or then, of course, for competitions, we have bolts in it now, but we'll have pins. We just pull it out, that way you don't have to wait for competition. The sling material that's underneath here is actually comfortable enough without the cushions on it. For competition, you can just pull these out for extra weight. They're extremely comfortable with this foam on top of it. And then the rest of it is just lots of little different things. You know, the dash is actually designed. You pull those 3 screws out. It folds down. You know, just a lot of simplicity.
It has a hinge point where you can actually pull. Excellent.
Yeah, it folds it down to get to your avionics trays back there. I didn't know if you noticed that door, the quick release pins on it. She'll have to close it down on you, but you actually just pop them together and up and pull the door right off, put it right back on.
So these are your innovations.
Yeah. This is. But all the design stuff is Clint. I can't stress that enough.
Yes.
You know, this is his airplane, but we were, you know, getting it ready for production and getting putting stuff in it that we knew from the production world.
You maintain his NACA 2412 with leading edge cuff on his wing and 1 strut, and that has stayed all the same.
Yeah, well, his new wing is 100% his wing, no cuff on it. It's all designed into it.
Yep. Yes.
It is a still single strut, about 32.8 on our wingspan. And just to give you an example, Jeff Daly's airplane with the 0360 on it, he's getting about 140 in cruise, and then, you know, stalling down around that 28, 29 mark, somewhere in there. So it's performing really, really well. It's doing well. Engine options range anywhere from, well, actually, this one and another one in the factory right now. The first 2 that are getting the Yamaha Sidewinder, 325 horse. Most common is probably the Titan 340 or the 0360. There's a lot of them running around with those engines on them. 180 horsepower, 170 to 180 horsepower is a real sweet spot for this aircraft. It flies really well with it. So yeah, no, and everything else is, like I said, we just got into production. We're ready to start deliver. We're out to December now on deliveries, and we did what we could to make it to the show with what we had here, so we could start, you know, letting everybody know we are now ready to start sending out kits.
I noticed the powder coating. There seems to be an emphasis on durability. I imagine with your defense background, you also considered low parts count, maybe things that were keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly. Now we do, like, you can get just about any color that Cardinal or Prismatic offers. The customer has a choice on that. They have tons of different textures now. It's powder coated. And if they want, they can also order the aircraft unpowder coated, so they can put their coating of choice on it, and we deduct the cost of the powder coating off of it. There are people that don't like powder coating, or they live on a seaside somewhere, and, you know, it's like Ford and Chevy arguments, different oil arguments. People's going to come up with something to argue with. This way they can decide what they want, put whatever material on it they want.
Any customers yet that have desire to or are putting one on floats?
We actually went ahead and designed out the float fitting attach points so they could, because they wanted that option. There are none flying yet with floats on them. Yeah, but we went ahead and made the mounts because at some point somebody's going to want to. So we added the rear float mounts for float on float brackets up the size of the tubing, both attach points, and made it a possibility, but none out there yet.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice chatting with you.
Same here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Come see us.
Okay.